Hi, this is Dr. Scott Young, and today we're going to talk about some NESARA-based questions in here, so kind of an FAQ. And what we're going to deal with are three basic questions in here. We're talking about money and the banking kind of systems. So let's just hit the first one, and this one's kind of an interesting question here. Do we have cash in silver coins when NESARA hits? Or do we have to cash in our silver coins when NESARA hits? Now, realize if we have silver coins or we have gold, whether that is the case, do we have to cash it in? No. I mean, you want to have that precious metal. Sorry, I don't want to use the cabal thing. It's okay. Nothing wrong with that, guys. You can have it all you want. The reality is, I believe the Treasury is going to be gold backed in that way. There's nothing wrong with you having gold or silver. If today, I think it's 1950 on gold, and I'm going to make up a number. Please don't peg it, or don't say, Dr. Scott said. Let's say the number is $4,000 for gold. As soon as the quantum financial system is the only thing left and the SWIFT system is off, the switchover occurs, gold will peg to a number. The moment that thing happens, it will peg to a number. It's called a revaluation with that too. It pegs to a number, and so it's $4,000 just for the heck of it. Gold will be that number. That's how much it is. And I know a lot of people want to run out and go buy gold, and I'm like, what for? Your gold, if you walked in there with a $4,000, you're buying an ounce of gold. Or whatever, denominational point that you're coming up with. So if you want to sell silver, and silver's going to come up dramatically too, because it's been undervalued pretty dramatically. Here's the cool thing. If you bought gold at 1950, do you have to sell it at 4,000? No, but you might want to. So if you had X number of ounces of gold, you might want to make that profit. And you're not going to pay taxes on it. You're not going to pay IRS taxation because the IRS is dead at that point too, the exact same time frame. So you're not going to have to worry about that. So, and that is actually a good thing because you're putting that gold back into the Treasury systems, okay? You're selling it to the gold whatever place, and they're going to be selling it back into the systems, which actually increases the value of the currency at that point. But it's going to peg. Okay, guys, we've talked about this quite a bit. It's going to be pegged. Don't think that it's going to rise up and change in value. Once you peg gold, it is the value, and it always has been over the history of the world. They peg a value. Now, might they change it in a year? Maybe. Okay, maybe they change it to 41.50 the next year after that, and change it down to 42. Change it to 4,050, and next year they 42.50. Whatever the numbers are, they will peg it because you have to know what the exchange rate between the countries are, because each of the countries are going to have a particular value upon whatever precious metal that they're on. Okay. But you don't have to cash that in. You can keep it all you want to. You might want to say, hey, I bought that silver at 20 and now it's 200. Oh my gosh, I want to make some money off of it. That's a good idea. Second question in there. Sorry, getting some people buzzing me here. Is money safe in the banks and credit unions? Yes. Okay. Now, you could take it out. Go ahead. If you want to take it out, go ahead. Feel free to do what you want to do, but you don't have to take it out. And get this kind of stuff all the time. And they're like freaking out. And I say, and I say this conversation to people because they're like freaking because, the banks are going to go to bankruptcy. And I'm going, okay, there's two different types of bankruptcy. One is bankruptcy closure, and then there's bankruptcy reorganization. Every bank is going through bankruptcy reorganization. Now, when we go into NESARA, if it becomes a bankruptcy closure, you will get notices of that. But reality is, maybe, make up a number. I don't know what that number is. 20%. Let's just say it's an unbelievable number of Americans know about NESARA, which I would doubt that's the number. Let's just say 20% of Americans, so 330 million, 60 million-ish, know about NESARA. I would doubt that highly. They would lose, 200-something million would lose all their money in the banks? Come on. Trump and the White Hats would never do that, guys. They wouldn't lose all their money in the banks. That's chaos. That would be what the Black Hats would do. Not the White Hats, guys. Stop. Your money is fine in the banks, okay? Now, if there is a bank, X bank, that is going to be going out after NESARA comes in, you will get notifications saying, hey, listen, your bank is going out of business, okay? Come over to our bank, and I've told you this about a year and a half ago. Come over to your bank and, get your money out. We'll move it to whatever other bank you have. That's fine. And you go, people ask me, what about this credit union? What about that credit? What about this bank? What about that bank? And I'm like going, guys, calm down. Fed banks are the ones you need to kind of get away from. What are the Fed banks? The big ones. What should I do? Which one should I trust? How about the small banks? Which small banks should I do? Research. That's your job. If you're trying to figure out which shoe store should I go to, which audiologist should I go to, you should research, right? If you're going to talk about a small business, which one should you go to? Research, okay? So research, ask them questions. Before I ever had a job, or before I owned my own business, when I would go in for a job interview, I asked more questions than my employer would ask. I always asked more questions than they would ever ask. Why? Because, and they would walk in and they're like, wow, I had the job before I ever filled out the application thing. Because I asked and researched them way more than they would ask me questions. And so if you walk into that bank and you talk to the manager and you ask enough questions about things that are important to you, that's what you should. And if they can't answer the questions, find someone in that bank that can. And if they don't answer your questions well, go to another bank. Simple as that. But you need to be with a local bank. Okay? Third question in here, is my money safe in the stock market? First off, when we go into the NESARA, your money is moved 1-to-1, whether it's in an IRA, a simple IRA, an institutional fund. Now, the problem that we don't know are institutional union type of funds. Let's say you're in a union and you don't have any control over that IRA institutional type of fund. Now, there are some problems that we don't know about. We don't know whether or not that institutional fund will be mirrored. So, for instance, I'm making up a number. It was the stock for that one is $100. I'm making up numbers, okay? And you had X number. Was it mirrored? And then it goes down, and you will keep at $100 after that. Possible, okay? Possible. I don't know that, okay? Do we actually see the downtrend? Well, we've already seen. People don't realize that the stock market has actually gone down quite a bit. It's gone down by 20 to 30% over the last year. Okay, they've had $1 trillion of losses or more. It's a crazy number. I don't even know the losses that are happening right now. It's off the charts. So if you don't think the stock market's actually dropped, it's dropped a lot, and it will drop after the EBS. And So if you're talking about your other stuff in your stock market, I mean, I would definitely move everything to gold and silver, certificates at least, gold and silver. There are other people that can help you with that kind of stuff. Move it at least to money market and ride through the crisis. And then, when you always want to sell high, buy low. I mean, that's always been the case, okay? But people are going to be desperate when they're selling, and the reality is, I don't know how they're going to actually handle that. But the circumstance is, we need to have a transition to this, okay? The thing that's coming that most people don't think about is, I was talking to a financial guy, his name is Hunter, and he and I are going to have a call here. This financial guy was amazing. But the reality is 2008, the Great Recession, we talk about this all the time. And we say, well, we're in a recession type. Oh, you guys don't understand. 2008 Great Recession we are with Evergrande happening right now. And Pfizer just delisted the other day. Form 25 delisted from the stock market. You have no idea how many others are delisting from the stock market. And the stock market hasn't even seen their changeover event. I mean, they haven't even seen the real thing that's happening here. Guys, I'm going to say 2008 times 4 is how bad this thing really, that the markets really are. They're so heavily propped up, it's not even funny. And we do need to see this thing correct. Now, I don't know what the White Hats are going to do on that. So that's why I would say protect yourself. Now, it'll move 1-to-1 into the gold-backed currency. Okay, so you're going to be in the Treasury Notes. But it doesn't mean you might not feel some of the pain of that. So I would be moving your money as best you can. And I've been telling people over and over, move your money into money market. It's the simplest fund out there, and it's a cash kind of fund, and it's the easiest thing to do. So hope that helps you out, gives you some good information with that too. We're going to keep trying to answer a lot of these questions as we go along. Like and subscribe. You can kind of see my information up here, and I appreciate you so much.